Hi everybody, I'm back again, twice in one day. When was the last time I did that? I don't know if I've done that. Anyway, I thought I think I got an interesting idea, very controversial idea, and that is right now on this channel we are going to rank. Let me get my microphone closer. This really needs the drama. We really need the drama. We're going to rank David Lynch movies. We're going to rank them in real time. So get your votes ready, or you could yell at me in the chat. But this is happening. I'm sorry. This is happening right now. Let's see. Let me get to our ranking chart. Oh no. Is it off screen now? Alright, we'll have to do it this way, I think. This is why I need two screens. I need to get a second screen. Alright. So we have S, which is sort of the supreme tier. This is top of the top. This is the best David Lynch movies go in the S tier. A, obviously, the rest of the letters we all know. So to start, this is going to be tricky, but I'm going to start with Inland Empire since I feel like that's the easiest one, and that's going to be a D. Sorry, I've seen it like 1.5 times. Not the biggest fan of Inland Empire. Maybe I'll watch it again whenever it decides to show up on streaming or Criterion or something. I don't know. We're putting Inland Empire at D. We're giving it a D. Now these aren't ratings for the movie, obviously, but these are just where I'm ranking them. And you could rank, if you go to tiermaker.com, you could find this thing and rank them yourself. So next, all right, let me ask myself, what would I rank S tier? And there's two or three that come to mind. Putting Mulholland Drive in S. I think Mulholland Drive is the pinnacle of David Lynch movies. I think that's probably the highest on the list. Obviously, let me know what your rankings are as we go along. But we're gonna go through this slowly. This is really difficult, by the way. I'm gonna put Mulholland Drive in S. I feel satisfied with Mulholland Drive in S. There's actually 3 movies I want to put up there. Let's see. I'm gonna give Dune. I'm gonna put Dune in C. I will put. I could get through Dune. I realized now that it's not showing you guys the bottom of the tier list. 1 second. I want to see those movies. Is that better? That should be better. I don't want too much of the frame in there. All right, that's better. So yeah, I'm putting Dune in C. I think that's a good place. While I'm putting Twin Peaks, Firewalk with me. I'll give that. Although this might be the Lynch movie I've seen the most, I think I'm gonna put that in B. While at Heart, I think I'm also gonna put in B. I think Blue Velvet is S. I think Blue Velvet is really, it's high up there. Mulholland Drive and Blue Velvet. Putting Straight Story also in B. I'm going to put Lost Highway in A. Now these two are difficult. I don't know where I really land with either of these. Have Eraserhead and Elephant Man left. Not sure where I land with these. I think I'm going to put Elephant Man in S. And I think I'm going to put Eraserhead in A. Pretty satisfied with this ranking. So top tier we have Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet, and Elephant Man. A tier, or second tier, we have Lost Highway and Eraserhead. Third tier we have Twin Peaks, Wild at Heart, and Straight Story. C we have Dune. And then D we have Inland Empire. Now I'm not sure if any of these need to be moved around. Now this is just based off my subjective opinions in the moment. This could probably, I could change my mind about this order in a year or so. There's a part of me that wants to move Wild at Heart a little bit higher, maybe to A tier, but or maybe even put Lost Highway down to B and move Twin Peaks up. I'm satisfied with S tier, the first tier. I think those three movies, if you're trying to get somebody into David Lynch, I think you show them those three movies. That's a good David Lynch starter pack. Elephant Man, Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive. And I think Eraserhead would go in there just to see sort of the origin story. But I think Eraserhead can sit in the second tier. That could be a second tier watch. And Lost Highway. Obviously Twin Peaks, there's some more context you need with Twin Peaks to really invest yourself into it. It's interesting because I feel like I put all the stories besides Elephant Man, all the stories kind of based off other things, B tier and down. Straight Story, Wild at Heart is a book, obviously Twin Peaks is the show, Dune is a book, Inland Empire is the only thing that's an original concept that I put lower than that. You know what? I think I'm going to leave this alone. I think this is my ranking. So first tier we have Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet, Elephant Man. Second tier, Lost Highway, Eraserhead. Third tier, Firewalk with Me, Wild at Heart, and Straight Story. C tier is Dune, because I don't think Dune is as terrible as people make it out to be. I do enjoy Dune, and I could sit through Dune. Inland Empire is the only David Lynch movie I have a hard time with. It's very long, first of all. It's a little, it's not even the Lynch brand of sort of erratic and absurd and surreal. It's kind of hard to actually physically watch. The movie is not easy on the eyes. It's a little bit abrasive to even look at. So hopefully when they do a re-release, it'll be a little bit cleaner. But yeah, I think this is my ranking. I think I'm going to sit with this. What do you guys think? If you're watching live or if you're going to watch after the fact, let me know in the comments. What do you think of this ranking? Would you do something differently? Let me see if I could bring it up since we have our picks. Yeah, so here's how I'm ranking these. Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet, Elephant Man, Tier 1. Lost Highway and Eraserhead, Tier 2. Firewalk with Me, Wild at Heart, Straight Story, Tier 3. Dune, Tier 4. And Inland Empire, Tier 5. I think this is my ranking. Norman says, I still haven't seen Inland Empire, and when I do, I feel like I should get the DVD with extras experience to fully digest that one. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I've been trying to figure out how to get a copy. I really need to give it another chance, I think. But it's, I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough one to really go through. There's a lot going on over a fairly long period of time. So, watch it once. At least watch it once. I think it's worth it. Let's see if I have another comment, but there's nothing coming up on my end. Let me switch over real quick. That's so weird. Oh, here we go. Sean says Inland Empire at the bottom. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm really thinking about it. As if, this is going to be some life determining decision. But if I were to, I mean, it definitely wouldn't be higher up than C. That's for sure. Honestly, obviously, everybody has their subjective opinion. I'm not trying to say that these are the best and worst movies. Everybody's list will probably look different. But I think the first three, I think Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet, and Elephant Man are kind of, top. You get kind of the best of the best with Lynch there, in my opinion, anyway. I think you get to see a lot of different sides of what he's capable of, storytelling wise. Inland Empire. Mostly, this is I kind of just am basing these tiers off story, and I think the top three do the best job at story. I think they have the most, I don't even want to say fulfilling, but I don't know, well-rounded stories. So that's why I'm ranking them higher. Now, Lost Highway is obviously Lost Highway. It's really fantastic, and so is. I mean, I like all these movies. I do like all these movies. It's not that I like some. I like all of them. Sean says, of course, Lost Highway would be up at S for me. Yeah, I see. That's one that I debated. I didn't want to go more than 3 in a section. Kind of wanted to keep it to max 3 I could put in one section. The only reason I have Twin Peaks lower and Wild at Heart and Straight Story is because while Twin Peaks is based off of David Lynch, I think Wild at Heart and Straight Story, he's kind of telling somebody else's story to an extent. So those, I don't think you get the full width of David Lynch's kind of writing, creative, directing, and sort of, you don't get the full 360 view of Lynch with those, because those are things he either adapted or it was based on something else. Firewalk, obviously is Lynch, but like While at Heart is a book, Straight Story is based off of a true story. So is Elephant Man, but Elephant Man I think is, I don't know, it's different. I don't know how to describe it. Norman says Mulholland Drive is probably my favorite of the movies, and that's one interesting. And that one's interesting as most of it was originally filmed and intended as a TV pilot. Yeah, so there's like, I don't know. Whenever you make these tier lists, you kind of have to set up your own rules by how you're gonna rate them. And I'm kind of going, at least in my head, off of which one is pure Lynch. Inland Empire could be argued is pure Lynch, but I mean, Dune is also an adaptation, so that's a little bit lower. But I think Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet, even Lost Highway, and Eraserhead, those are pure Lynch. Those are pure, fully Lynch features. And the other ones are adaptations, and then there's Inland Empire. So I think I'm just gonna live with this list. I like this list. If someone told me like where they should start, with Twin Peaks or with David Lynch, I'd probably recommend those first 3 movies first. Again, everybody probably has a different idea of where people should start, but for me, I think those were exactly the first 3 movies I watched. Eraserhead might have been in there, actually. There might have been Eraserhead, but it was definitely Blue Velvet and Mulholland Drive were definitely the first 2 that kind of got me in the door. They were the gateway drug, so to speak. Yeah, and then I think I watched Eraserhead, then Elephant Man, and then all the other ones came after. But Elephant Man was the one that sold me on Lynch. That was the one where I was like, yeah, I like this guy. I want to see everything else he's done. Because going from Mulholland Drive to Blue Velvet to Eraserhead Elephant Man, it's like 3 different people. Yeah, I think Blue Velvet is a good, starting point. It has some of that intensity, some of that Lynch absurdity, but I think it's digestible for sort of first-time Lynch people watching Lynch for the first time. Mulholland Drive is kind of on the... I think Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway are kind of on the other end of the spectrum, where it's like really Lynchian, where you get all those kind of tools he uses and themes that he reuses in pretty much everything. Dreams and, specific imagery, fire, electricity. I think Blue Velvet kind of... It introduces you to the way he tells stories. Like, you have the beautiful, small town vibe. You have this beautiful city, whatever. Like in Mulholland Drive, you have Los Angeles, and then you have the seedy underbelly. So I think Blue Velvet is kind of a good way to get in on the ground floor with David Lynch and start understanding which themes he likes to utilize. And he uses that in mostly everything else. Elephant Man. Again, Elephant Man is where I feel like he departs from that a little bit. Obviously, he's telling someone else's story, but he's able to make things that might be conceived as taboo or ugly, or I don't even want to say ugly, but just kind of not your everyday thing seem a little bit better, a little bit prettier. He knows how to shine a light on that kind of stuff to really frame it in a way for people to see it a little differently or understand differently, and really contextualize it to make it seem to tell the person's story in a way that is fair and doesn't totally hone in on superficiality, which I think he did very well in Elephant Man, and thank God for Mel Brooks getting him on board. I think, I love Mel Brooks, but that might have been one of his best moves ever. And obviously Eraserhead is his first, barring all those short films. So I think those three at the top, and then Eraserhead are probably a good place to start, or mix and match. I think Blue Velvet is the best place to start. But then you could kind of follow it up with Eraserhead or Mulholland Drive. I think Lost Highway could come after that, and Wild at Heart. You might want to throw Straight Story in there early too, possibly. I feel like that's a pretty big departure from the other stuff. It's kind of more in line with Elephant Man, because it's talking about, sort of things outside. I want to say things outside of Lynch world. You get what I mean. But it's telling someone else's story. It's not straight up coming from the mind of Lynch. So yeah, I think that's where I'm landing on this. I think I landed in a good place. I'm happy with this ranking. I don't know. You guys should try this and let me know how you guys rank them when you get a chance. It's pretty funny, kind of the way you kind of rationalize how you rank these things could be interesting. Alright guys, so that's all to this video. I didn't have too much. I kind of wanted to rank these and then discuss the process a little bit, because I never really thought about it, and then I see people doing these ranking videos all the time, and I was like, what the hell, I'll do one for Lynch movies. So yeah, I think this is where I'm landing. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and those of you who contributed in the chat, thanks for being here. I hope everybody has a good Friday night, morning, wherever you are, evening, afternoon, and a good weekend. And I shall talk to you, everyone, very soon. See you later.